He said that he loved me, he never would go. Oh, oh. Now you find me sitting here on my own. Oh, oh. Was it something I said or done that made him pack his bags up and run? Is it for another that he's come? It's breaking up a happy home.
Wow.
Misa, will you tell me where my love has gone? He's a Japanese boy. And welcome to the Screen Rock Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the weirdest
I've
and
got
worst
reduced hours at work for this.
that's been
I had to
rotting
submit a letter to HR.
on our
I had to have
screen.
meetings.
And indeed, our mind. Shout out to everyone who subscribes to this podcast, either on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. You're doing us a massive favour, not as big a favour as the Patreons, the Freemasons, paying £3.99 a month, getting an extra episode just like this every single week. There was a free trial for that. It's over now. They're getting priority access to tickets, plus they're getting access to the Rock Bar, the free live stream show once a month. There's also the Illuminati, top tier, £5.99 they're paying. They're getting all of that, plus a free hat on their head and access to the weirdest group chat in the world. Shout out to Eugene, runs our Twitter account.
Sent by God.
He may be sent by God. And a big wink and a kiss mwah, to ladies and the queers who listen to this podcast, who, in my opinion, are the most gorgeous ladies and queers in the United Kingdom. Happy Pride Month to you. We're doing tops off for Pride over on the Patreon side. And I'm here, as always, with Jake Farrell.
Good to be here.
Japanese boy for the intro.
Yeah. I mean, what a tune that is. I hadn't
What
thought or heard that song for many years, and then yesterday you used it in the Instagram story to promote the new tour dates that we're doing. Liverpool,
That's correct.
Glasgow, Liverpool, Edinburgh, Newcastle, and now it's just stuck in my head. Been stuck in my head ever since.
And then I sang it.
And then you sang it.
Do you think one day you'd harmonise with me? Do you think one day when I'm singing the intro,
I would love to.
would you harmonise with me? It
What's
feels
that?
it feels like something like a blue collared like American worker's wife would ask him. Would you harmonise with me, darling? Would you go down on me?
Yeah, I can be the Daniel Ewan Henderson in that
Would
scenario.
you go down on me?
I love your little pooch. I'll harmonise with you, no problems. Yeah, no, I'd be happy to harmonise with you. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you've got a voice, as we've discussed many times, that is not just fit for the pubs and clubs of this great nation, but it's fit for the local theatres and art centres, I would
do a
say, as
wedding.
well. You could do
Could do a
weddings,
wedding.
no worries. Will
Yeah.
you do your own wedding?
I will sing on my wedding day. Yeah.
You will?
Fucking planning that at the moment. It's hard planning a wedding,
Right.
isn't it? You've obviously been wed.
I have been wed, yeah.
You've been wed.
Yeah.
Fucking Emma wedded you right down.
She wedded the hell out of me.
Held you down and wedded you until
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were fucking... Anyway.
It's me.
Until you were married. And now I'm obviously going to be wed. I'm wearing my wed me down shorts, and my missus is going to wed me right down.
Wed you right down.
Actually, I've got to be careful with bulge because I keep getting that, and the pervs who watch keep screenshotting.
Do they?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's been going on. I've been on holiday.
Oh, been an exciting time for you.
Yeah.
Fresh off the hair transplant, off to Barcelona. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. So basically, for people who've been listening for a few months, you might remember I went to Turkey with
Yeah.
my family and some mates of ours.
To the heart of the Ottoman Empire.
Well, it wasn't. It was on the outskirts of a fucking motorway. It was awful.
Right.
We didn't choose the resort when we went to Turkey in October last year, and we ended up in this really bad all-inclusive. A rat ran over my missus' hand during the night.
Yeah.
My missus then actively poisoned me with baklava. It doesn't have nuts on it, baby. It does. It always does. It doesn't. Just try it. Tried it. Yeah, I'm being sick now. So she was like, "I'm done with all-inclusives.
Right.
Can't do all-inclusive anymore. I've had enough."
Did she
Right.
think that there's rats in every all-inclusive?
No, we have done a few, and I love it. I love an all-inclusive
Because of the booze.
Yeah, because of the booze. It's also just like everyone's got what they want. I've got booze. The kids have got the kids' pool. There's
Yep.
ice cream on tap, and kids entertainment in the evening. So
Yeah.
you know, I can have a drink while they're running around. I don't know, singing and dancing.
You get up, sing Japanese Boy every night,
Yeah.
whether they like it or not.
There's no karaoke.
Yeah.
I'm doing it at dinner. But then
A cappella at the buffet.
Yeah. Is that the sushi guy, or why is he doing that?
Yeah, there's.
What's that for?
Why, he's near the omelette station.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
But then, so yeah, she was like, no
She's
more
had
of
enough.
that. So she was like, I want to do something a bit different.
Right.
And we like going to Sitges.
Yes.
Sitges is where we go in Spain.
Gay capital of Spain.
Gay capital of Spain. Gay capital of Europe, man. And,
Yeah,
and it was
man.
nice to get. So that's where we were. We were just outside of Barcelona. It was also Primavera weekends. There was like, Barcelona was busy. I think
Did you know that going in Primavera weekend, or was it like fuck?
No, it's just every like loads of people I know were also flying to Barcelona. I was like, oh fucking no. But anyway, no issue. But she was like, I want to do something a bit different.
Right.
So she booked us on this campsite.
Okay.
Right. Just
love a campsite. I grew up on key camps, man. We were a key camp family.
We did pontins a lot, and
nice.
we had a caravan that we'd go to.
Man.
It was just on a shitty little thing, but yeah.
For the graphic designers whose parents pay their rent.
If you don't mind translating for the middle class.
A caravan or a campsite is a place where you go and you have kind of like, it's kind of like temporary accommodation. It's like probably the frame of reference you would have for it, the graphic designers, is it's like the places that your parents give money to in the Sudan to assuage, to assuage their conscience.
It's refugee camps,
but nicer.
But nice. Yeah. Well, I don't know. But where it was like. We were in like a sort of like chalet thing, like a little cabin.
Yeah.
But it's just fucking. I don't know about the vibe, man. I don't know. Campsite abroad. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff. It's basically I've grown up. As soon as we started going abroad, we were going all inclusive. Me and my family.
Yes.
And I'm used to it, and I know what to expect. And it's interesting the differences. The British people that were on this campsite in Spain. It was very fucking hippy dippy.
Oh no!
Everyone was very proud of them.
Travellers kind of thing.
Oh god! There was one.
Any white people dreadlocks?
Yeah.
Oh,
and so many fucking dads with like long hair and beards. Do you know what I mean? Father John Misty lookers, right? And there's one playground. It's fucking shit. Like you spend half the holiday just watching my kids queue for a swing, basically.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, it's just little things like that. Fuck me off, man. No tea towels in the cabin anyway, because they just expect you to bring everything.
Right.
And anyway. So we sort of sat around at night. There's like not enough tables, like 3 tables. Fucking 200 people on this campsite. 3 tables sat around these 2 swings, just watching your kid queue for a fucking swing. And there's a British couple in front of us. And I could see that my kids are playing with their kids. So I was a bit like, okay, interesting.
Why? Why is that interesting?
Well, because usually we'd have a chat. Usually it's like, oh, okay. Like when we're on the all inclusives, it's like if my kid's playing with your kids, we're talking, and. You know, smoking, vaping, drinking,
right.
We're talking.
Yeah.
This couple, not drinking, red flag, right? And then, but I say red flag, they had a flag. They had a hat with a flag on it, but they'd sort of positioned the hat on the table to be like, this is us. You know, it was interesting. In the same way that the last good all-inclusive I went to in Portugal last spring, right? I remember there was this 10 loungers,
right,
and 2 blokes had twisted 2 of them round so they could get a proper football flag on the back of 2. Sheffield United.
Class.
Yeah? Like St. George's flag, Sheffield United on it, and it was on the back of 2 loungers, and it was like, that's their area. Do you know what I mean? And our kids played with their kids a bit, chatted to the Sheffield United boys, who do you support, mate? Oh, you know, great.
Yeah,
right?
Good stuff.
These guys have done the same thing with a baseball cap on their little table.
Yes.
It's just a couple, and it had a sort of pink and blue stripy.
Oh, a trans pride flag.
I think it was either trans pride or non-binary.
Right.
Now that's a different vibe to Sheffield United.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously on board with all of that.
Yeah.
I'm more au fait with Sheffield United.
Right.
I'm more comfortable speaking Sheffield United language than I am. Like, what's that conversation?
Well,
sick.
Yeah.
We're actually straight, and you're. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so they were trans, were they?
I don't know.
You don't know.
They didn't look it.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll put us on fucking. Start with Japanese boy. Let's get onto this.
But I know what you're saying. That, like, to me, the parameters of the conversation are clearer when it's a Sheffield United flag. In that it's like, do you think Chris Wilder should have got the sack or not? Sheffield
United. I'm Arsenal, Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh, do you reckon you'll make the playoffs? What do I say?
When you say that,
you're that weird hetero. Do you reckon you're going to make the playoffs? I don't know.
Maybe more than that, it's just like, oh god, that Supreme Court ruling was fucking shit, wasn't it?
Is that what you do?
I don't know.
But I mean, and also,
did you ask them about it?
Well, there was a kind of. My daughter comes over with their
When
kids.
you say it's on a baseball cap, do you just mean they had a hat?
But it was like, I'm telling you, mate, the way it was positioned on this table, it is very much, this is for these people. Do you know what I mean? We are here. I just thought it was interesting.
You just surmised that. You haven't. That might not be what it is at all.
You put a hat on your head.
Yeah.
You don't put it on your table. In the same way, unless you're doing your flag thing.
So
I'm sweet with it. I'm sweet with it.
Saying
but it's just interesting. It's exactly the same as the Sheffield United.
You're saying they
thing.
had it on the table, like those people have it in American campuses where they're like, I believe the Iraq War was a good thing.
It was exactly
my mind.
like that. It was exactly like
that.
And then it's like they were Welsh. Little boy comes over, Aled, right? I think
Mhm.
that was his name. And
Yeah, it sounds
my
Welsh.
daughter was like, "This is my new friend." I was like, "Have you asked his name?" Fucking couple turn around. Their name is Aled.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Okay.
And
What do you think about Chris Wilder getting sacked? So yeah, okay. So
it's just hippies.
how old was Aled?
I don't know, like 4.
Okay, then traditionally, yeah, I guess that is young. But I guess if you're raising your kids gender neutral, that's the way you'd go about it.
know,
But did they snapped at Lua? Did they or you?
But they me.
Okay, fair enough.
I was the one who was like, "What's his name?"
Right.
Spin around. Their name is Aled. It's like,
Wow.
careful, Lua.
Yeah. Okay.
Steady
on.
But yeah, so that was the vibe of the, and it's all just a bit fucking.
So there's no death of the high street chat there.
There's no death
There's
of the
no
high street
rotters.
chat.
There's no one boosting your ego.
What I like on holiday,
Yeah.
is you can is that everyone has a gender? No, but I like
Yeah.
the way I've grown up is on holiday. You have a shower at like 6. And
In the
get
morning?
dressed.
Oh,
No,
right.
in the
Okay,
evening.
okay,
You
yeah,
you shower again, and it's like the dads wear their newest polo shirts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's Stevenage standard.
Nice
100%.
shorts that come straight out of a polythene bag from ASOS. And it's
You've bought the wardrobe for the holiday.
you're dressing up.
You might try and take some of it back when you get home if you're doing all at once.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's what I do. Yes, and fast fashion. Sorry, workers. Big up the Chinese. But it's also you're making an effort, and
Yeah.
your kids dress up and make an effort.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just noticed on this fucking campsite.
No one's getting changed.
Oh my god, it's dirty vests, and the dads having.
Yeah, that's a tough scene.
And I just
I wouldn't like that. That is my death of the high street. When you're on holiday, you have to dress up to go out for dinner. You have to have a shower. You have to put a bit of aftershave on, and you have to go out for dinner. That's the
right.
point of going on
And
holiday.
I like the way the dads. I noticed this on my last all inclusive. The way the dads look, they're sort of. They don't know how to, like, what do you wear for a kid's holiday? They're just dressing like they're going for a night out with their mates.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like your crispest penguin polo shirt and your
yeah.
sort of River Island cargo shorts and then, kettle on and sort of hair gelled. And it's the way that dads, they look like they want to go watch the boxing down the pub and take Coke.
Yes.
But they're obviously with their kids and their wife, and they're sort of like grinning for photos, like But they've been drinking all day,
Yeah,
and you
of
can
course.
tell they want to. But they
right.
have to sort of. It looks a bit like when like kids go like traveling in Thailand, and they get a picture with like a sedated tiger. That sedated tiger is very similar to the dad on the holiday. It's like really he wants to.
When I was in Greece last, there was a lot of in the all inclusive. There was a lot of prevalence of the dad in the 2-piece. Matching short and shirt combo.
Yeah, I think that's the sort of Love Islandification of dad's clothing. And I think that
younger
will be...
dads.
I'm not even sure if it is younger dads. I don't want to gender it, especially after the campsite I've just been to. But sorry, Aled. But I often suspect that a wife has said to her husband, come on, that's what you wear now.
Yeah.
Matching like pajamas? No, that's honestly you haven't watched Love Island. Oh, look at my phone when you've got that on the telly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That's my culture. I just felt it was just a bit fucking crusty. At one point, there was these kids, Spanish kids.
Yes.
And their family were in a caravan, and they took it upon themselves to set up a little stall where they were trying to sell their own stuff.
On holiday?
Seriously. They're on holiday, and there's like a sort of road bit that goes through the site.
Wait, they weren't just homeless kids.
No, well, I don't know. They're in a fucking caravan. Could be. I don't know.
But they have a place they have a roof over their heads.
They have a roof over their heads.
But you're not clear
They've got a fucking tent over their heads. They've got the tent that comes out from the caravan thing.
Yeah, right.
But they're on a caravan park. They're on a holiday park. I don't fucking know. As I say, I used to go to a caravan park a lot on my holidays as a kid.
Right.
And there were travellers who just lived there all year round.
Yeah, right.
But these kids, they'd like as I say, there's like this sort of road thing that goes through the whole, and the caddies that do the cleaning, whatever, go up and down, and cars when they're like parking up, and they'd set up by the side of the road just off from their little caravan, and they've got all their toys, and it's obviously written in Spanish, but they've got like for sale signs,
right?
And they're fucking heckling you as you go past. Hey, señor. Hey, trying to sell me.
Your hair looks fucking shit.
Well, that's probably what I don't know. But they go trying to sell me their stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Lou was haggling with them like Alan
No,
Sugar.
I didn't want to get involved. I don't like that. that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
You got your
yeah.
kids selling stuff on holiday. So I said to my missus was fucking raging with me. I didn't like that at all. But my kids obviously like toys. I wouldn't mind a new toy. It's like, fucking get away.
It's like that episode of The Sopranos where he takes the car off the degenerate gambler dad and gives it to Meadow, and it's just like you coming back with an armful of toys. Lou are going, "Oh, that's lovely, Dad," and then the Spanish kid's just crying in the pool. Like, "These are my toys, senor. Took them. Only paid €2."
Well, no, but
Your dad was a degenerate fucking gambler.
I didn't want to encourage it because their dads probably fucking are.
Yeah.
I can see the dads with their beards and their fucking long hair. They probably haven't got jobs.
I mean, if people are selling toys on the side of the road, they're not having a shower before dinner.
No, exactly. And I didn't want to encourage any of it. And my kids kept being like, "Can we not just go and have a look?" And I was like, "Fucking no." So what I did, and my missus was raging because the kids didn't sleep because they were terrified. I told my kids, we have to start an episode. I called them. My kids were like, "Who are they?" I called them the ghost children. My kids are 2 and 4. I called them the ghost children. I said they're ghosts. And I was like, when it gets dark at night, be careful because the ghost children will come. And my son fucking shitting himself. But I tell you now, they weren't trying to buy the toys. They weren't trying to buy the toys. Because they like it. I don't want to fucking encourage it. It is the death of the fucking high street. Buy your stuff from shops, not from fucking caravan sites.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
There's proper retailers. There's shops everywhere. Also, they're doing the whole go home tourists thing. The only thing that's going to stop them doing that is if we buy our stuff from proper retailers, pay a bit of tax.
Proper retailers.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not fucking, I don't know, fucking Miguel and his sister on the side of the road.
Children over there.
They're dead.
They're ghost children.
They're dead. That's what I said.
You've seen Casper the
And
Friendly
I was
Ghost?
literally like, the ghost children.
Oh,
like I made a whole thing of it. My son didn't sleep. He was fucking Mama, ghost children. And Lana's like, baby, stop doing it. Right. Talking about ghost children.
Rather than buy your kids some €2 toys, you'd inflicted lasting psychological trauma on them out of a point of principle about retail tax.
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't think this is the episode with the BetterHelp advert in it, but we need to get some BetterHelp for Sonny. Yeah, my dad told me that they were definitely were alive. We could tell they were alive.
They were dead kids. Right. Thanks for tuning in.
It's always someone's first episode. This week's a good one. I'm looking forward to this topic. That's
why we got to it so quickly.
Yeah. 18 minutes in. Timestamp that, you fucks. So this week we are talking about. Sometimes we talk about people that are kind of on the come up, a couple of 100,000 followers. Then we talk about people that are like stratospherically famous internet personalities, and this guy is one of them. Where to start? What to say? Let's find out. This week we're talking about IShowSpeed. But before we get into the topic of this week's episode, Jacob, can I ask you a question, please?
Please.
Have you ever felt like the internet knows too much about you?
Yes, all the time. Every time I'm trying to browse, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
What a wonderful, beautiful voice you've got. Well, you don't need to worry about that anymore, Jacob. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you can get Surfshark VPN.
Surfshark VPN?
Yeah, Surfshark VPN. Now, what they can do is they can prevent all of that internet knowledge where you say something to your missus like, oh, I'd like to get a hair transplant in Turkey, and the next thing you know, you're getting all these targeted ads for hair transplants in Turkey. They're going to get rid of all that for you. They can get other stuff for you. They can make it so you don't get dynamic pricing when you're looking at flights, and they know you want to go on holiday and they start charging you extra money. You're a capitalist. That must appeal to you as a man.
That really appeals to me, man. Yeah, that would help.
Of money. That would really help you, wouldn't it? And also, on top of that, you're going to get access to unlimited devices with Surfshark VPN.
What, so I can get like my phone, laptop and iPad?
Yeah, just a bit, brother.
That's unbelievable.
And, I mean, it's a great product, so it's not going to happen. But if you did have any issues, when do you think you might want support?
Often in the middle of the night. That's when I'm using things to, I'll be watching like geo-locked content, American sports, 4 a.m, the Ohio Beavers versus the Barack Obama Beavers.
The two Beavers.
The Beaver teams,
the Beaver face-off.
And I'm going to need some help. So what, they have support 24/7?
Just a bit, yeah.
Whoa,
don't worry about that.
That sounds good.
That's 24/7. And also, once you've started using Surfshark VPN, you could use any of their other products as well. You could use Surfshark Search. I don't know why I picked that one.
Surfshark Search.
They've got a number of extra products, and not all of them have 3 S's on them.
But Surfshark Search, that's the way you could search the internet using Surfshark, and I assume there'd be like, I don't know, no pop-up ads, so you wouldn't be tracked, all that sort of thing?
Just a bit, yeah. That's their web browser, which is going to give you a clean and private search experience.
Oh my God, every time I'm browsing on the internet, I just wish it was a bit cleaner and a bit more private. Yeah. That's what I need.
I reckon some people that listen to this have got some dirty browsing experiences as well.
I don't know, it might not even be dirty. You just don't want someone looking over your shoulder every time you're trying to browse the web. This sounds perfect, Jake.
This does sound perfect. It's particularly good for me because I like to watch very arty documentaries that have been made by high-level documentarians from across the world using streaming services, and sometimes that content would be geo-locked. Not for me, not with Surfshark VPN. Yeah, exactly. The second singing piece on the advert. Great to see. Well, it's not just for us, Surfshark VPN, not just for you and I, it's for our listeners as well. They can get access to it with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. How good is that?
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's class. It's maybe too good for the...
So how do you get it?
Well, they can go to our link, surfshark.com/screenrot, or they can use the code screenrot at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark.
4 extra months on top of what they're paying for?
4 extra months.
That's amazing.
These guys are coming off the top rope. They're the real deal. Surfshark VPN. Go and get it. surfshark.com/screenrot. Oi. Get on this.
I'm very excited to. I think this is a really interesting person.
Yeah, I think that IShowSpeed is one of those things in life, the phenomenon that is IShowSpeed, that has made me unequivocally feel my age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like, do you have this thing now where like there'll be a song that's like, I was going to say top of the charts then. What? Come on, Jimmy Savile. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like a...
I don't think there are charts anymore.
There probably isn't, is there? There's a song that's top of the pop parade, right?
Yeah.
And you've literally never heard of this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, I kind of had it with Chapel Rowan. I was like, everyone started going on about Chapel Rowan.
That's come out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, like I meant to know what's going on there.
Of them, and I don't know who any of them are. Sabrina Carpenter. Is there another one beginning with an S?
Possibly.
Little blonde thing.
That's Sabrina Carpenter.
Is there not another one beginning with an S?
Selena Gomez?
No, I think there is another little blonde one. But
if you want to recommission Grumpy Old Men, by the way,
what are these lesbians?
They're not lesbians.
They are.
Are they?
I think a bit. I think Chapel Rowan is.
Rowan?
Chapel Rowan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at my cousin's wedding recently.
How old?
I don't know. She's in her late 20s, I think. What's that got to do with it? She's 14.
Well, no, I was going to say.
They were selling her toys outside.
I know your family had moved to Portsmouth. I didn't realise I'd gone that far into the culture there. No, but I
Great, can never go back there again.
I'm assuming we can't because of the mush. Rest in peace to his mother, by the way.
Shout out to his family.
That felt very shout out to his family. I watched that clip the other day.
We'll get to the episode in a minute. Don't worry.
No, but I thought you were going to be like, I went to my cousin's wedding. My cousin's young. They were playing pop music. I didn't know what was going on.
My cousin is a bit younger than me.
Yeah.
She's like my brother's age, so she's like 26, 27, and they were playing Chapel Rowan. I was talking to my brother and his girlfriend, and I was like, I just don't really like Chapel Rowan, and they were both like, it's not really for you, is it? 33-year-old man.
No, you don't. And that's the point.
You don't like fucking CBeebies either. Yeah. That's not for you either. Anyway, so IShowSpeed.
There is loads of music like that.
Yeah. There's loads of culture like that.
Also,
now.
There's loads of songs where I could
How
sing.
do you feel about dying?
Huh?
There's those songs you could sing.
I got no rules.
What's that?
I don't know.
Right.
I can sing every word of it.
I don't know either. But...
I got no rules.
Okay. Can't wait for people to tell us what that is.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's what the Ghost Children were singing.
Do you know? But do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know the song I'm talking about?
No.
I got new rules. I got.
It doesn't sound like. It can't sound like that.
That I swear on my life, that's the song.
Right.
Everyone will be knowing what I'm talking about.
Well,
I have no idea who plays that song.
People do be knowing what you're talking about.
Then there's another one which is like
Go on.
He got it, little baby. Do you know that one?
I think that's Fernando by Lady Gaga, isn't it?
And he said, "Ooh, love, so I'm gonna take about my love."
No, that's not. Were they playing this at the campsite?
Yeah.
What are people doing? Because like, if
so rockabye baby.
Okay, yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right. Do you
I know that one.
who's that by?
No.
Nope. Do you know what it's called?
No.
Do you know what it's about?
No.
I think it's about a baby.
Rockabye Baby, yeah.
Rockabye baby, rockabye. I can sing it.
Yeah.
It's been everywhere for years.
Yeah. Don't know what's going on.
And that's
IShowSpeed.
That's IShowSpeed. Don't know what his name is.
Yep.
Don't know what he does.
Don't know what he does.
Don't know where it's going.
Don't know what's going
But
on.
it's not for us. And, and I guarantee you, we'll do a bit of research. He'll be like 35. He'll be older than us.
Yeah, I think.
Geezer. But it is that thing, and we have to start accepting this. I think with more internet culture, it's not for me.
No.
Like the family,
Yeah.
they're not made for us.
No. It's made for paedophiles.
It's like I suspect if they ever like saw that we'd done a podcast about them and were like, oh, they don't like us, they'd be like, yeah.
What is made for us?
Well, and I think this is in relation to
what's made for the two middle-aged white men.
Well, I can tell in relation to IShowSpeed, I think that's where it's getting interesting now,
right?
Because the mainstream, which are kind of making like CBS Golazo is for us,
yes, but they need IShowSpeed.
But exactly, and I think that's the whole thing. Is like old school mainstream sports media, which is made for us.
Yes, Neville stuff, Souness stuff,
dads / homeowners.
Yes,
who need something. Yeah,
they need to watch Bournemouth versus Everton at 5:30 on a Saturday,
and they're giving us Mika Richards.
Yes, yeah,
they're giving us big
meat.
You know,
he's the
big
YouTuber.
You know, he's gonna fuck up. He's gonna fuck up. No. Like, yeah, that's for us.
That's for us.
That's for us. So
Yeah.
we can sit there going, oh, maybe we'll fuck Kate up.
Yeah,
That's for us. As you say, we're obviously not enough for them.
No.
We're doing everything we fucking can.
Right.
Like, fucking Carragher has responded to a video of us.
Yes.
Taking the piss out of him, and it ended up in the news.
Yes, it did.
Like, literally me and you.
Right.
Like, I'm giving them my money. I'm subscribed.
Yes.
I'm subscribed to Sky. I'm giving old school sports media everything I've fucking got. And it's not enough. They want the younger vote.
They want young as well.
So Speed's on.
Speed's on there.
And I think it's the kind of last dying cry of us, of the 30-something dads, homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they replaced Sky Sports, a lot of their content. You know, the panel they used to have, the Soccer Saturday panel.
Yeah.
That's obviously gone.
Latiz is gone.
And now...
He's doing CBD now.
Yeah.
Charlie Nicholas is gone. Phil Thompson's gone.
They're just CBD salesmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas now it's Chunks and...
Chunks doesn't do Soccer Saturday.
He did.
Did he actually?
I think like 5 years ago, yeah. He's past that now.
Okay, there's been a goal at Walsall. Chunks, what can you tell us?
But it's those people. But they're not doing a goal at Walsall, what can you tell us? They're doing like...
penalty competitions.
Or they sit around a little table like this, and this is what they've learned is, and I know this because I do little bits of football stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't just do, what did you think of Leeds Burnley?
No.
Because no one gives a fuck.
No.
And especially they don't give
Apart
a fuck
from my
in
dad. Yeah.
Right, but even your dad doesn't care in 2 days' time.
No.
When Leeds play Liverpool.
Yes.
So what they do, they try and create this kind of memeable, someone will have an argument about this on the internet. Evergreen content. Is Robbie Fowler a better finisher than Defoe?
Yeah, I love that.
And it's that.
Impossible to answer. Literally impossible to answer.
Yeah, but Defoe was the GOAT. and then it Scousers in reply going, I fucking hate you. And it's almost designed to rile us up. It's almost designed for, who are these fucking young fucking...
Yeah. But was that happening like when we were younger? Because okay, let's try and stay on a theme here. So we're talking like IShowSpeed.
IShowSpeed is
the definition of legacy media trying to get hold of a younger audience.
He's a streamer.
As you say, there's an incredibly profitable marketplace for the legacy media, which is me and you. All we want to do is hear Gary Neville talk about why Milos Kerkez is not a good enough left back for Liverpool.
He's
that's
not
all
shit.
That's what we care about.
I know people at, down on the coast. I know good man, loads of man down on the coast say that there's better ballers in the Bournemouth uni football team than Kerkez. He's going to be shit. But
so that's all we want. But they can't have that. Sky Sports News can't just do that anymore. So it needs to show highlights of the Baller League with IShowSpeed and the Angry Ginge and what have you.
I'd fucking love it. Yeah.
And I don't remember I think when we were growing up, it felt like youth culture and normal or mainstream culture or like middle-aged culture was more compartmentalized. Do you know what I mean? It was IShowSpeed wasn't popping up on the World Cup broadcast. Des Lynam wouldn't have been talking to a member of Take That do you know what I mean? Like, Take That were a band for young women. They wouldn't have been involved in the coverage of France '98.
No,
that's not how it worked. But now it's just like it's all bleeding into one because like they're desperately trying to gather any bit of vitality from outside of their ecosystem that they can.
They want the young vote.
Yeah,
they all want the young vote.
I guess it's just the voraciousness of capitalism. Really, they just need more money. No, too much is never enough.
That's it. Also, he barks at people. And it's
quite does bark at people.
There's the voraciousness of capitalism. Also, IShowSpeed every now and then goes, row, row, row. And that's good content.
Well, let's try and explain who he is. So I've got a 30-second clip here, and I tried to understand how he became famous because he's like stratospherically famous. He's got like tens of millions of followers on subscribers on YouTube, maybe even in the hundreds of millions. He does live streams literally every day that get like 40 million views. It's fucking mental. And I was like, why? And so he started out by doing gaming content where he would get angry, and this is an example of that gaming content. He's crying. Now, you've gone on record before as saying that people we've talked about on this podcast have been inhabited by an Islamic demon. If you had to put an over-under on how many demons are in his skull, what do you think's going on here?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it is performed anger, that is performed perfectly in the direction of an audience who want that.
Right.
And if you want to criticise him for that, people have been doing it for generations. Piers Morgan does exactly the same thing. When Piers Morgan pretends to be angered by Palestine supporters in central London,
yes,
he is doing exactly the same thing.
Right.
He's pretending to be angry about something he doesn't really care about.
He is using words, though, instead of sounds.
And I don't think he's making much more sense. You know what? The next time Piers Morgan does a rant about Palestine or kneecap or whatever the fuck it is this week, and I'm not saying this to pick on either Palestine or
no.
whatever the performed rage is. When it's Clarkson talking about cyclists,
yes,
like it is like old white guys have been doing this for fucking years.
Yeah.
They've been making less sense than him, and actually I don't think they're anywhere near as funny. And that's my kind of overwhelming take with IShowSpeed. It's like, do you know what? Like in the same way that we want someone to go, who on earth is bloody Chapel Road? Someone wants him to scream at it's not even called FIFA anymore. EA Sport 25, whatever. And
that's fine.
The primal scream that we let out when I see Jeremy Clarkson call Cycling Mikey a div, right? My soul goes,
yeah, true.
Some 17-year-old soul does that.
That's exactly
when he concedes an own goal on FIFA.
And I it's that thing of
we all need someone to scream for us.
We all need someone to scream for us, and that was his way into a crowded marketplace, because obviously there's loads of gamers that stream and what have you, but his thing was doing that basically.
Yeah.
And it's like once he got the foot in the door, then his personality, which I think from what I've seen is really quite funny. He's mad, obviously, he's completely mad, but he does have a sense of like character to him. You could even say he's like the WWE. Do you know what I mean though? Like there is a fully formed character there beyond the like.
Yeah, but also he did that a lot, and he still does that.
Yeah,
and I think he's really good at that.
Right.
And actually, I think like I think for years, like angry kids playing video games, that is like I think if you're like a marketeer, or if you were to be forging a new entertainment star, which is kind of what Speed is,
yes,
right? And he's I guess the biggest streamer in the world. I guess in terms of like streamers,
well, he must be up there, yeah.
He must be up there, and streaming is a kind of new thing. You could almost imagine there being like a Simon Cowl equivalent. It might even be Cowl in a kind of lab somewhere, being like, right, what do we create?
Where's the next streamer coming from?
Or just entertainer.
Yeah.
Scrap streamer. Just be like, okay, music isn't really cutting it anymore. What do we make now?
Exactly.
Look at Gen Z, look at teenagers, what do we make? And I think the thing you would do is you would go, what elicits the biggest emotion?
Yeah. Tits usually.
Well. And thus we have seen the rise of the Bonnie Blues.
Yes, right.
Yeah. What does, and it almost doesn't matter what that emotion is. In the same way that, like, and I know you don't love it when I bring this guy up, but Tommy Robinson, right? Just hear me out.
Okay.
It's the same thing of going, create content that elicits emotion. It doesn't matter what emotion it is.
Though anger and horniness seem to be the two top
Anger,
ones.
horniness, but this guy it's kind of like
Madness.
But it's almost empathy.
Right.
I actually think what you're getting with him is empathy.
Right.
Like what Tommy Robinson's doing now, and it's kind of mad. His Twitter account is literally just a collection of videos of kind of like things going wrong in the UK that I guess you could argue have a bit of a multiculturalism angle, right? You know, and he's essentially become an aggregator of that content, and it's like because he's gone right. I need to get engagement and clicks and eyeballs. Which emotion shall I choose? I choose anger
and fear, maybe bit of fear
and fear, maybe. Bevo has gone, right, I need to get clicks and engagement. What one will I go for? He's gone for horniness.
Yes.
He's making porn.
Yes.
Right? This guy, and I think this is so interesting, he's tapped into something no one's tapped into yet. And it's like, when I think back when I was 16, 17, maybe even younger than that, 14, 15,
right.
When was I eliciting the most emotion?
Mm-hmm.
I was horny.
Yes.
Yeah?
Famously.
He doesn't want to do that. I got fucking angry playing video games.
Yeah, right.
I got that was like I even kids my kids' age now. My daughter, bless her heart, she goes to nursery. She's starting school in September. I'll say to her, "How's your day?" Yeah. What'd you get up to? Can't remember.
Wow.
And I was like that
right
at 14. I remember my parents being like, "How was school today, Jake?" I was like, "No, fine." What'd you get up to? Don't know. Nothing.
Yeah.
What are you doing later? Don't know. And you'd almost be like annoyed.
Yeah.
And you just go through life.
Yeah.
Until 2 a.m, Call of Duty, or fucking
lobbing controllers.
FIFA, lobbing controllers. I went back to my parents' house the other day, and I think this is such a funny thing that what they've done with my room. My room's been kind of turned into a spare room now.
You're going to say they've left it exactly the same as the day I left, like the Anne Frank Museum or something.
What? It's kind of a new build house.
Right.
They're on this kind of like new build estate. And so my room had a kind of walk-in wardrobe-y thing.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like a kind of cupboard door, fucking paper thin.
Of course.
And I remember once I was playing FIFA online, and my mum had told me to stop. And I remember they shouted in from their room was like next door to mine, right?
And this is late at night.
Paper thin walls. It was like 2 a.m. They were like, fucking
stop.
Because I was on a headset chatting to Big Dave, right?
Yeah.
Big Dave genuinely missed his French A level because he was up till 6 a.m. playing COD. He just slept through it the next day, right?
Don't tell me
His dream was to be a translator for Chelsea because he wanted to help them get more French players. That was Big Dave's dream. He did a French A level. He wanted to be a translator to help them get more French.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm not laughing at him.
It's just such a funny boy's ambition. And I remember, so 2 a.m, I was like shouting, "Oh fuck!" And my dad and my mum was like, "Stop it! Stop playing the game!" And I got so fucked off because I conceded another goal or something.
Yeah.
I turned around and I fucking smashed this wall.
Fucking
well, it's not a wall. It's like the door for this wardrobe.
Yeah.
Right. I went home recently. What they've done is they've got one of my tour flyers. They came to see me on tour.
Yeah.
And bless their heart, they could afford, but they haven't. They haven't fixed the hole in the door, so they've sellotaped one of my tour flyers over the top. That is such a funny distillation.
Did you ask them about it?
I'm not asking them about it.
There's an outside chance you're like, Mum doesn't know your dad's done that. And your dad's done that after like 4 cans.
My mum's done that. My mum's done that.
So funny.
After fucking 5 glasses of wine. He's not that guy anymore. He's this guy. But like that was a big thing of like fucking rage quitting games.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
That was a big angry thing, and he's doing that really
he's
well.
He's communalised that experience, just like Eating with Todd has communalised.
Calling your mum a bitch for saying that you have to stop playing your Xbox. That is like, and I grew up. You're a fucking bitch. You're not going out tonight. Yeah, I am. That is. I'm sorry. that was growing up listening to. I mean, this is going back a while.
Yeah.
I remember being like 11 or 12 and having like a PlayStation that I had to play in the fucking living room. It drove me mad, and I'd listen to Eminem, the Marshall Mathers EP,
Nice.
right? And I remember they'd kick me out the living room. I'd throw a strop, call my mum a bitch, go upstairs, listen to Eminem, and I tell you what, in that moment, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto. I'm listening to Eminem. I've just called mum a bitch. Dad's told me I'm not allowed to do something at the weekend. At that moment, it is very important there were not guns in the UK.
100%.
Because that is how school shooters are made. That is how school shooters are made. That
They won't let me play Xbox.
They won't let me play it. I'm running prostitutes over on Grand Theft Auto. I'm listening to Eminem talk about how much he hates his
mum
or his
his wife.
Mum.
Yeah,
his kid's mum, Kim. Is that her name?
Yeah.
He fucking hated her.
Oh, he didn't like Kim, did he?
And he had some nasty words to say about her.
He did
I've
not
just
like
called
Kim.
my mum a bitch, and I'm upstairs stewing. I genuinely had a bandana on, and I would have shot her.
Yeah.
I would have shot my mum. And if young men will be listening to this, they'll be empathising with that. They'll be going, yes, I wanted to shoot my mum too.
Yeah.
I wanted to run my mum over. And that is why speed is big.
You know, there's like moral panic. Sorry, go on.
That is, we
he taps into that
when
vein.
He's thinking about shooting his mum.
Yeah, right. I think that there'd be those like moral.
We really should have had better help sponsoring this one.
There's those moral panics where it'll be like Grand Theft Auto was one of them, where it's like I think there was another game called like Manhunter or something for the N64 that was like really violent.
No, God, that was crazy.
Yeah, but they were kind of directly linking incidents of violence to these games or whatever. Like that's my worst nightmare, is that there's a school shooter and they find like a treasure trove of Screen Rock podcasts on his hard drive. And like I just get doorstepped coming out of my flat one day and they're just like,
he believed the children were already dead when he saw them selling toys. He argues that it was not murder because the children were already dead as they were trying to sell him spinning tops on his holiday.
Yeah. Terry was radicalized by the Screen Rod podcast.
He claims his wife was inhabited by a jinn and he was purely extracting the evil spirit.
A subset of an online community lurking in the darkest corners of the internet. They call themselves the Rotters. Writer of Adolescence Jack Thorne says it's important to stop...
Stephen Graham playing a Rotter's father. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you listening to that?
You've listened to the Rots again?
Can't be listening to Screen Rots.
Can't be listening to the Screen Rots.
You're 14? Ghost children. What are you talking about?
You've been waking yourself awake. Yeah, I think you're right. That Speed does. He links to the impotent rage of the teenager, right?
That's where it came.
A lot
from.
of my rage from being a teenager in the end just came from being stuck, right? You couldn't, like, when you're kind of old enough to want to like move out, but you're still a kid. Do you know what I mean? I want to do what I want to do. And it's like that feeling of being like stuck, and like that is. I felt like that noise that he made.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? And I remember you. Like, I've spoken about this on other podcasts, but I was just so fucked. I had erections all the time, and I was fighting a lot, and it felt like there was just so much in me that
what
needed
about
to
when
get
you were a kid?
And also, like, I remember a little bit older than that, 16, 17. Do you remember Skins?
Oh, big time.
That was dangerous.
Yeah.
And do you know what's funny?
They were all like smoking spliffs before school and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, go on, I'll say this.
Go on.
So do you remember the first series? It was Tony.
I'm struggling with it now. But
Tony's about a boy.
Okay, he's the main man.
He was the main man. There was
getting laid like you read about that guy.
Yeah, and in the next series, it was Jack O'Connell.
Yes. God, they've had good careers, haven't they? Dev Patel as well?
Well, and then there was a girl called Effie.
Yeah. Did she kill herself?
I don't know. She wasn't well.
In the show, I mean.
But so Effie from Skins is played. Oh God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble here.
Well, don't say it then, dickwad.
Effie from Skins is played by this woman. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I've seen her in other stuff. She's been
films now,
she's been in, she's
The Gentleman,
really successful
Pirates of the
actor,
Caribbean. Yeah.
God, they've all had good careers, yeah.
Right. So I really fancied Effie at the time, and I was a teenager.
I mean, that was the point, wasn't it?
Yeah. But
all the girls fancied Nicholas Hoult, all the boys fancied Effie.
That's it, and I really wanted to fuck her. Right, and
you don't have to say that. That's implied.
Listen to this. I used to think about her a lot while I was a teenager. Do you know what I mean? I think I've said enough there. Yeah.
Right.
Fucking 2 years ago, right, where I live in North London, mates of mine are like, do you want to come to this school fair at our kids' school? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever the fuck, right? And I'm there. I'm like, this is my fucking life. Yeah, fine. Watching my kids on a bouncy castle while I'm half pissed, right? And I'm there fucking throwing beers down my neck.
Oh, they're doing
Yeah.
beers at the school fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not going if they're not. Seriously, I'm not fucking
Draft
going.
stuff?
No, no. Actually, do you know what? It was draft and plastic cups for £6 fucking 50,
Ooh,
and that's
Maron.
apparently going to fund a trip for some cunt. I don't care. Anyway, I'm throwing them down my neck. My missus is fucked off somewhere.
Right.
My I think it was just my little girl at the time. Actually, my little girl was bouncing. I'm like, oh, there's a boy sort of jumping on her. I'm going, oh, careful, don't. I'm looking around for the mum, and the mum's like, behave, John T, whatever. I look round, it's fucking her.
Wow.
It's fucking her.
Wow.
My mate Ollie was there. My mate Ollie was there. And I said to Ollie, I was like, I used to fucking wank over.
Oh, don't say that. Just say that. It's
Ollie,
implied. You've already implied it. Fuck's sake. It just feels gross when you say it.
Listen. Ollie was like, what? And I was like, do you see her? I was like, I used to fucking, do you not remember? Ollie's never watched Skins. Didn't know who she was. Ollie didn't know she was an actor. Ollie's like, what? That woman? I was like, yeah. And I was like, did you not? And he was like,
No.
what? He's like, I remember he's like, why would I? He's like, we all did, didn't we? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I did the same thing. I had to Google, and I was like, she's in The Fucking Gentleman. And he's like, but I just showed him the picture of Effie from Skins. He was like, that's a fucking kid. I was like, no, 33 now, our age, 33.
Oh my God.
But I remember
Jacob,
Skins.
there's no children over there. There's a ghost child over there.
The kid's dead. She's not real.
Good luck to
I'm
Ryan.
just imagining-
Good luck to Ryan doing the volume on this one, by the
I'm
way.
glad we haven't done this one in the Spotify studios and it called the police. But no, but I remember that Skins thing was like a big fucking thing.
Huge.
And I just remember being like, oh, we have to get fucked up all the time. The fucking kids in Skins.
Yeah,
do it
they're doing all
before
sorts.
Sixth form or college or school,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
the fuck. And I remember once, me and my mates, there was some woods near us, and we're just going I was like 17.
Oh, that's classic.
We used to go drink in the
Wood
woods.
stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
wood stuff. It's good
And
stuff.
we used to go and drink in these woods. And I remember once,
Fags in the woods, drinks in the woods.
fags in the woods, and I was nicking the beers. Because it was like we could get served sometimes or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this
yeah.
time I'd nicked beers. I'd done like a slow steal from every Friday when my dad was pissed.
Nice.
Because my parents would do booze cruises.
Yeah.
So we had like a fucking stack of them in the garage.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was keeping an eye.
It's always tough, isn't it? It's like, how many cigarettes can you take out of your mum's pack?
So you don't take 10 at a time.
No.
You steal one a week
yeah.
to get ready for
to
the
make,
woods.
to make them think they're going mad.
That's exactly. And I'd wait till my dad was drunk because I knew I could sneak one from the
There were
fridge.
7
and he'd be like,
Budweisers out there.
must have had 4 last night.
Yeah.
I only had 3. Right? And I remember I was on the phone to my mates, and I was like, "I've got 11. I've got 11 beers." But I was obviously just saying 11. And as I say, our house,
Right.
paper thin fucking walls.
Oh, yeah, you've been called
And
the
I remember, like, I got off the phone to Charlie. I was like, "All right, see you there, Charlie. But trust me, bruv, I've got 11." Right? And I remember getting off the phone, and my mum knocked on the door, and my mum was like, "If you take 11 ecstasy pills, you will die." Oh my God, 11 pills! What do you know, bitch? Right. Eminem, you better lose yourself.
Also, like, incredible faith in you from your mum. At that point, like, a guy who's, like, stealing the odd stubby bottle of beer out of his dad's fridge. She thinks you can get hold of 11 ecstasy pills.
I know.
You get done for dealing.
Exactly.
And presumably, if Charlie's doing them as well, you've got 22.
Charlie was a stoner. He's the tortoise guy.
Right.
He was like, yeah, man. Blaze one. Right.
The timestamp people are going to go mental.
This has been crazy. We're nearly done. Right, let's...
Speed,
we've
Impotent
covered
Rage.
Speed, the streamer. I think
Yes.
what we should do now is cover a little bit of what Speed is getting up to now.
Speed entering IShowSpeed entering mainstream culture, yeah. Should we, I mean, we can do another one of his more kind of like, do you want to do the baby one or the kiss one, the Chinese kiss one? This is a good one because it illustrates...
Is this the one... I sent you a couple of the... Yeah, I mean, this is just crazy.
So he's in
This
China.
is the maddest content. Watch this and then go, imagine Sky going, we need to get this guy.
Don't do it.
So he's been surrounded by Chinese people, I think. He's in China. He's barking in the guy's face.
That is the most visceral piece of content. One of the most visceral pieces of content I've ever seen. Everyone is screaming.
Yes.
The Chinese guy is screaming the N-word at him.
In China, they use that as something that sounds like that as a temporizer between words. So
yeah. You've taught China. You taught all the people in China to use that word. Jake's responsible for that. Jake was over in China after uni. Go, just this word just means high. Just means high.
Yeah.
But I get
either way.
Within the context, I agree with you. I don't think they are knowingly racially abusing him, and I do think that he's kind of a similar thing happened in Bulgaria,
right?
Where I think the N-word might mean book in Bulgaria,
right?
And he had a thing, but I think he kind of wants to engineer these situations because it is amazing. You're watching him in a foreign country.
It's like the Beatles. It's like Beatlemania.
Yeah, except
that's my frame of reference.
Yeah. There you go. The oldest men in the world. It's a bit like the Beatles, isn't it? When Ringo got off the plane. Except it was.
Oh, Ringo I love ShowSpeed, Paul. Isn't he good?
Right. But Ringo would get off the plane in Germany and they go, Auf Wiedersehen, Ringo, Auf Wiedersehen. With this, it is Chinese people screaming the N-word at him while he goes, what did you say? What did you say? They keep saying it and then they kiss him. And he's like, did you? Ah! He's like just screaming. Imagine somewhere, like Charlie Nicholas is calling Sky. They're like, please, I've got a mortgage to pay. They're going, fuck you. We need this.
We need the Chinese N-word guy.
He's getting the N-word shouted at him in China. It's happened in Bulgaria. They scream the N-word. He goes, what did you say? Ah! And then they kiss him and he's like, what the fuck? Sue! Like, that is the best content in the world.
Yeah.
That is the best.
It's as good as it gets. No, it's incredible. And like you say, so we can talk a bit about how he's kind of, I was going to say, like, he's not infiltrated the world of football. He's a non-native football fan, as in, like, he grew up in America, so soccer to him wasn't his first choice of sport. He's come to it very late, and he's really, really into Cristiano Ronaldo. Which is really odd and in a kind of beyond hero worship kind of way. But he's really been brought into the football establishment because they've had him on CBS Galazzo, and he's also become like friends with president of FIFA Gianni Infantino, which is one of the weirdest sentences I think anyone's ever had to say.
It's amazing. It's amazing. This guy,
it's incredible, as in it's literally like I am incredulous at the
It's unbelievable. That is his content. Like, we've shown 2 clips of him. We've done nearly an hour. We've shown 2 clips of him. He's either screaming or he's having the N-word screamed at him whilst he screams back,
and then being kissed.
It's just screaming. It's loads of screaming.
Yeah.
He's called IShowSpeed because he runs fast.
He's really fast.
That's literally...
Yeah. It's like me being called I'm Ginger Bald. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
You have to say it's fucking amazing.
You do in fact have to hand it to him.
Yeah. Men are Clark. That is brilliant. Like for me, I'm an ADHD riddled. I'm fucked. And as we said at the beginning, this isn't for me.
No.
But even I can go.
It's for someone.
Screaming the N-word at him while he screams at them
and
they kiss him. And
it's the most energy in a place I've ever seen.
It's fantastic.
I've seen the best stand-up live. Do you know what I mean? And like the energy in those rooms when it's flowing like water. It's nothing like that.
It's not this. It's unbelievable. And I think that's what's amazing. Carragher knows him by name.
Yes.
Gianni Infantino.
Yes.
And what's fascinating with him, I do think he kind of knows what he's doing with a lot of it. As I say, I think the kind of N-word thing that he keeps doing, I can't wait to get away from that. But I do think he's kind of, and it makes it really fun. It would not be fun to watch anyone racially abusing that guy.
No.
But what he knows is that the kind of like
we know that he's not being racially
abused. And the cultural
abused.
disparity of like these like a big group of people from China who don't realise that word is a bad word and they're saying it and it's confusion and he's if he looks upset, it's horrible.
And he's very good at looking upset. Well, no, he's very good at looking at like perform
anger.
Like he's almost like
what did you say?
Maybe this is a bit too far. This is a bit too like pseudo shit. He's almost like Mr. Bean.
Yeah, no, it really is.
He has like a Mr. Bean quality to him.
He's a better comedic actor than Jamie Demetriou. Than any of your goats, any of BBC Three's goats, they can't talk to this guy.
No, they can't.
He's a better comedic actor, but also like it's so much of it is so funny. And the blood, like, is there a kind of wink behind it? Does he say to Gianni Infantino, "Yeah, I'll do the Ronaldo shit"?
Yeah.
Does he say to Carragher, "Yeah, ask me about Messi"?
100%.
I don't think he does. So I don't think we need to watch it because it's quite long and slow. There's a clip here where he's just wandering around. I think he's in Denmark.
He's in Copenhagen, yeah.
Copenhagen. He's just pottering around Copenhagen, and there's like a baby in a pram, and the dad is going, and he's obviously said, and he's got like someone filming him. He's got a fucking huge bodyguard with him and a couple of other people behind the camera, and he's obviously said to the dad, do you mind if I sort of have a laugh with your baby? And the dad's gone, yeah, why not? And when I say baby, like the kid's like 18 months, and he's like, you know, he's sat there with a kid and he's going, move if you're gay, which is like, for his audience, that's hilarious, right? And again, it's no one's upset, blah blah, but then he and this is what often happens with him. He gets overexcited.
Yeah.
So he sort of barks at the kid, because that's his whole thing, is barking. The kid sort of does a quick movement and he goes, "Whoa!" And the kid gets really upset.
Of course he does.
And then what happens after that? I'd urge people to look this up. I don't want to show it because it's too long. He sort of walks off and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then the dad's like, "No, fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you barking at my fucking kid?" And the dad like pulls the pram away. He's like, "Fuck you." And fair fucks his
That's
dad.
a real kid. That's not a ghost child.
But I'd kick off.
Yeah.
Right. But obviously the dad's in a difficult position because it's him, huge bodyguard. But the dad can't like swing at him. Not that that's the right thing to do. The dad can't be like push him. The dad is just like, "Oh fuck you. I'm gonna fuck off." And Speed like walks off, and the camera guy follows him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he keeps saying, he's like, "I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I really didn't want to do that. I'm sorry." And I honestly believe it. I think he's really sorry. And then he goes back, and they're in like a shopping centre, and he goes through the shop, and he finds the dad, and he's like, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that." And the dad's fucked. The dad's going,
still
"Fuck
angry.
you. Fuck you. You think this is fucking funny content? Fuck off. Fuck you." But Speed is taking it. And he's going, I know, but I just want to say I'm sorry. And Speed, like the bodyguard guy's like, when the dad's having a go, the bodyguard's going, "You fucking what?" And Speed's going, no, stop.
Right.
And other people in his team is going, "You better fucking watch how you talk, man." And Speed's going, no, stop. I'm sorry. And it's like Speed's going,
lay it on me.
Fair, fine. I just really want to say I'm sorry. And then he keeps saying to his team, he's like, "No, fuck off." And he walks away. And I watched that and I was like, like you're actually sick. And it's again, this is kind of too pseudo, but it made me think about like when entertainers get things wrong, like we see people get cancelled. How do you handle it? Like take the fucking shit.
Yeah.
You've made a mistake.
Well, I was also going to say like for him so like the thing with comedy or with entertainment or with doing this fucking every week,
you get it wrong.
Like, you get it wrong, and you're trying to say something in the moment that might be funny. His life is like that times a million because the camera is literally always on.
It has to be.
That's his thing.
And he's walking a fine line, asking a kid
yeah.
to move if he's gay, getting loads of people in China to shout the N-word at him. And I fucking respect it because I think that's what's funny. I think it's funny to sit here and say, I did say to my mate, I used to wank over that woman who's looking after a kid, right? Like she might listen to, oh God, I hadn't thought about that. It'd be fine. God. Me following her around a shopping centre. I'm sorry. You're fucking weird. It was Skins. I'm sorry. But like, I respect it.
Yeah. And like he does seem to have an element of genuineness to him. Like with the Paul brothers, I think they are kind of like sociopaths. Like nothing really seems to register with them. Do you know what I mean? Like there doesn't seem to be like this actual connection with the real world. He does seem to have like at least a childlike connection to the real world.
And the childlike thing, I think that's really interesting with him because there is something, and I don't think that's accidental. I think he's like, behave like you're 14.
Yes.
God knows how old he is. But like
I think he's early 20s. Yeah, I think he's,
But he behaves like he's 14.
Yes.
The barking.
Yeah.
And also, what I've seen him do in the past is like willingly perform almost like homoerotic love for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
And people would be like, "What, would you kiss Ronaldo?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love Ronaldo."
Yeah, right.
And he's like, he knows he's being mugged off. But what I found really funny recently is he had a thing where he, quote unquote, accidentally leaked some screenshots of what he's been sending a girl.
Right.
And this is where I'm like, I can't tell if you're a genuinely brilliant comedic performer,
Right.
or if you are just mental.
I think that every week.
But I and it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that every week as well.
He leaked these messages. It's so funny. He's messaging a girl, and I'll get you to put this up on the screen,
Yes.
and you'll remember. It goes. He's messaging her. He goes, "So when can I take you out?" ? And she replies saying, "Whenever you want. For real. Kiss face emoji. I'll make time for you." He just replied, going, "I'm bricked as fuck. Not gonna lie. Do you want to see?" She replies, "Take it slow, baby." To translate, "I'm bricked as fuck" means I've got a long penis, right?
Well, I think it means I've got an erection as well.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm bricked as fuck. Not gonna lie, you want to see?
Either way,
She says, "Take it slow, baby." He goes, "I can't. I'm speed." That's funny. She replies, going, "I mean, I already saw it on Twitter for real, talking about his penis."
Okay, he's put his
So
penis on Twitter.
Well, no, I think there's been a leak.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And the next message, and I think she's winding him up. She goes, "I know it's small though." And he goes, "Look up IShowSpeed leaked video then if you think that right now, okay? Also, I was soft. I wasn't even hard." That's really funny.
I fucking kill myself.
But is he playing? Because that is what a 14-year-old would do.
Yeah.
Okay, look it up then. Also, I wasn't even erect. Fuck off. Like, that's really funny. I can't tell if that's his genuine character.
Right.
Or, I mean, I might also just be getting completely mugged off and the whole thing is fake.
Yeah. There's no woman on the other end of that thing.
Or someone has made up the whole thing.
Right.
Some Speed fan is just in his voice.
Some speedhead.
Who fucking cares?
No, it doesn't matter.
It's so funny.
The character's fully realised.
I'm saying this now. I think he's a better comedian. And of course he's annoying.
Yeah.
So to come back to what you said at the beginning, you don't like Chapel Roan. You're not supposed to.
No, not supposed to.
We're supposed to find him annoying.
Yeah, it's not good for me.
there are times when like, I'm trying to watch the fucking Champions League final. Him and Khabib.
Yeah.
Why are they there?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I want Merson back.
I do think like that's the thing. I think that if that's the message of this, and maybe
Why is he there?
Let's finish on this. Well, not finish, but we can talk about this. So he was on the Champions League final with Khabib, and this is a kind of like almost like a fever dream of Khabib comes over to be on the program after the final, and this has everything in it. It kind of explains the culture.
This is we've said this before, but like when Adam Curtis makes the documentary about what 2025 was like,
this will be on there.
This tells you everything.
So Khabib comes over, shakes IShowSpeed's hand, shakes Carragher's hand, I think shakes Micah's hand, and then Kate goes to shake his hand, and he says no. And that's the Mr. Bean of it all. Do you know what I mean?
It's brilliant.
It's perfect.
It's brilliant.
That's like Martin Freeman in The Office.
What happens there is somebody who follows quite a strict form of Islam.
Yes.
Has and I think as respectfully as he can, and I don't like this, but as respectfully as he can, he's kind of, she's gone to shake his hand, he's kind of gone, I don't do that.
Yes. And she also very gracefully kind of...
But she is...
In what must be a difficult situation for her.
She's incredibly media trained.
Yes.
And she's done what the 30 to 40-year-old person would do, which is, okay, we're not going to acknowledge that.
No, let's move on.
Speed, for audio listeners, he knows where the camera is, turns the camera and sort of sticks his tongue out and does a funny face.
He does what can only be described as like the crazy face emoji. And that is it. Like, so this is like
that is the funniest
legacy
reaction.
Media are trying. So they've got Carragher there, they've got Henri, they've got Micah. They're all in suits. They're talking about the football. Kate Abdo's there. She's the best broadcaster of her generation.
I think she is.
Who's this coming over? It's a 22-year-old from Ohio in a Portugal shirt. That's famous because he barks at Chinese people while they shout the N-word at him. Who's this coming over behind him? It's a grappler from Dagestan that won't touch women. And it's like, we're meant to like all of that at the same time. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And also, like, it's like the way they're trying to do that.
Right.
They're trying to make that boring.
Yeah. They're trying to make that like, let's talif talk about the football.
If you, yeah, exactly. It's
Was
like,
João Neves too high in the first half?
Yeah. Oh, beautiful story for Luis Enrique.
Yeah.
Right, Khabib.
Right, IShowSpeed.
And the dream happens, which is the blocks don't quite fit together.
Yeah.
There is some level of friction. Something goes wrong. Oh, the fundamentalist is Islamist doesn't want to shake hands with a female. Oh God, that's a bit awkward. And the best thing happens. The fucking idiot just sticks his tongue out.
Does a crazy face emoji. I mean, I'm not sure.
That is so funny.
I think, that's probably the interesting part to us is not the content in of itself, but the way that the current legacy media are interacting with this. You can't control it either, and that's the point. That's why the kids like it, because like you can't get him on a TV set. Yeah,
he's genuinely unpredictable. He's genuine, and this is the thing. I mean, this is like because he's got his own stream of income. He's got his own stream.
They can't control him.
Cancel him.
No.
You can't control him. He's bigger than the Champions League.
100%.
He doesn't give a fuck. I
I'm still not clear what's in it for him.
There's a comedian. I won't.
Don't name them.
Jamali.
Right.
Was asked to do something. You know when they relaunched BBC Three.
Right.
And I remember I was opening for Jamali on tour at the time, and he was telling me about it, and he was like, "We're supposed to be doing this big thing on BBC Three, part of the relaunch." He was like, "It was me, someone else, and the guy's fucking in jail now. Chunks' mate, Philly."
Oh wow, yeah.
And they got Philly to do it.
Right.
And then he said last minute the whole thing got pulled because Philly's agent just told BBC Three, he's like, no, he wants to go to the Super Bowl instead.
Wow.
And they were like, this is the relaunch of the BBC's comedy channel. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to the
Yeah.
I'm going to the Super. I mean, this is Speed's thing. It's like,
yeah.
I don't fucking care.
That's it. It's IShowSpeed's world, and we're all just living in it.
Yeah, and
we were playing that game
but I think
before.
he's really good. I think he's fucking brilliant
at
his
what
job.
he does. We were trying to get on BBC
Speed
Three.
be spazzing for real.
That's what the kids do be saying, to be fair. That's the message of this, is that the kids are telling us that Speed be spazzing for real, no cap, no homo.
So we have to make that clear. I mentioned this in a previous episode. I found that video initially because someone had quote tweeted it and it went viral. Speed be spazzing for real.
Yeah.
Speed's reaction to
I think it's
to
fair
a strict
to say,
Muslim not shaking hands with a woman. Speed be spazzing.
I think it's fair to say that the kind of Donald Trump and the people that want to say the R word have won the culture war when a tweet that's gone mega viral is someone going, Speed be spazzing for real. Oh, come on, Adam Curtis. Make the documentary now. Put us out of our misery. Until then, keep your eye out for any ghost children out there. Keep your eye on the roads in case any ghost children come wandering down it. Any other advice you want to impart before we go?
Not really. Pack your flags for your holidays, whatever those flags might be. Yeah. And we'll see you next week.
Up the Rotters.